This movie has literally everyone in it. What is up, dudes? It's Jeremy. Today I'm doing a more in-depth, spoiler-filled review / discussion for Popstar. Never Stop, Never Stopping. So this is also known as the Lonely Island film. It tells the story of Connor For Real, a fictional celebrity, and his rise and fall and all this kind of stuff. It's set up like a mockumentary or a fictional documentary. And I really enjoyed this movie. Now, I did the 1 minute review. You might have seen it, you might have not, but I really like doing these more lengthy discussion videos where I could kind of just talk about every little thing that I thought about the movie. In the 1 minute things, I just kind of jump around and say a whole bunch of jumbled thoughts and throw it all out there at once. So I like to do these videos. I like to talk about more specific things. The first thing that I want to talk about is the length. So the movie was an hour and 26 minutes. There is a post-credit scene. It's not very long. It's not really like you have to see it. It's not like a Marvel post-credit scene, but I still enjoyed it. Anyways, the length. I thought I was really glad that it wasn't any longer than that, because a certain point into the movie, it starts to feel a little bit lengthy. It starts to drag a little bit, so they cut it as short as they possibly could, I think. And I just really can appreciate that, because any longer and I would have started to dislike this movie more and more and more. And when you think about it realistically, like a mockumentary about this fictional celebrity that's basically, you know, a Lonely Island movie, like how much longer could it really be than an hour and 20 minutes anyways? Anyways, that being said, that part where it starts to drag on, I think that's really only because they tried to salvage a story out of this huge, just like totally off the wall, absolutely insane idea, and they kind of like patched a little story out of it. And so that last little like 20-25 minutes or so where it starts to drag, it's just where they tried to bring it all together, and it's fine. Like, I would rather they do that than just kind of have all this random stuff and then at the end, and then just be like, credits, and there be absolutely nothing to come of it. Now, being a Lonely Island movie, you know, an Andy Samberg movie, he doesn't have like a whole lot of movies that he stars in, although Hot Rod, which is like one of my all-time favorites. If you hadn't seen Hot Rod, you need to go watch that. I don't know if it's on Netflix. I'll find out and I'll leave it. I'll put it in the comments if it is. But Hot Rod is one of my all-time favorites, and it was like really just the same type of humor. And when you've got Lonely Island or you've got Andy Samberg like in charge of this whole operation, I kind of knew ahead of time. You know that like a lot of these jokes are going to be hit or miss, and I think that most of the jokes worked, like just for anybody. Now, Lonely Island fans, Andy Samberg fans, of course, you're gonna love it because it's very much their taste, their style. I really think they did like an incredible job of taking, like I said, this totally like zany idea, and they ran with it, and I think they did awesome. Now, like years and years ago, when Lonely Island first started and they first blew up and they were huge and everybody loved them, they were the funniest thing on TV, I think that if you would have said there was going to be a Lonely Island movie then, it would have been a lot different than, you know, it's been like, oh my gosh, like 8 years since their first album release, I think. And to come out with a movie like 8 years later, I wasn't really sure at first that it was going to be, you know, as enjoyable of a movie as it was. Part of the reason I say that is because way back when Tenacious D was a big thing, I was really excited for the Tenacious D Pick of Destiny movie, which I still say was really funny and stuck really true to the Tenacious D story. The movie was a terrible flop. It did horrible. The album release, that released at the same time, did terrible. It was a mess. I think that Popstar is going to do a lot better. I don't know what the album sales are like, but the music is one of the funniest parts of the movie, and I'm sure that the album is absolutely hilarious through and through. Now, I haven't listened to the whole album or anything like that, but I've heard a few of the tracks. And the other thing that I liked is that although the movie features a lot of the tracks, it's kind of one of those situations where you just get enough to where you want to hear the rest of that song. Anyways, long story short, they did a really good job, and I hope that the album releasing that kind of coincides with the movie, I hope that it all does well. Fingers crossed. The movie features a ridiculous amount of cameos from people you'd expect and people completely unexpected. Snoop Dogg had one of the best ones, of course. Justin Timberlake, I think it's fair to say everyone knew he was going to be in the movie at some point, but his role was hilarious. And I was not disappointed at all in his part of the movie. Of course, there's a ton of great musicians, producers, and people that are actually in the music industry that are also featured in the movie, and I really enjoyed all of their parts because as a whole, the movie does a really good job at making fun of a lot of things that are going on and have gone on in the music industry, the pop music industry, the pop music celebrities, all that stuff. They just tore it all to shreds. I think that that's going to be what makes a lot of people really enjoy the movie, because I think that people just love to see things like that, kind of like roasted, I guess you could say, like Hollywood, or anything like behind the scenes. People just love even more than they love to see it, and they love to see all that Hollywood drama, the behind the scenes drama, all that stuff. They like to see it made fun of, tore apart, a more satirical look at all of that stuff, and the movie had plenty of it, that's for sure. Usher, of course, he was hilarious. He just wanted to be one of the style boys. ASAP, oh man, ASAP Rocky had one of the best ones. So he has a little bit where he talks about selling out and that kind of thing, and his product that he sold out with was AP Crunchables. Which was absolutely hilarious. Basically just this Lunchables with ASAP Rocky's face all over it. Eric Andre and like that whole crew that's with him, they're from part of CMZ, the TMZ ripoff, and it was like they had about 3 bits, and they were all very Eric Andre type humor, like just really bizarre and odd. And they're part of the post-credit scene. If you are wondering what it is, it's Eric Andre and his crew, and really odd. Anyways, I really enjoyed this movie. Like I said, a lot more than I even imagined I would have. I thought it had a lot of great humor to offer. It had a really great perspective on the pop music industry to offer, and like I said, I really just hope that this movie does well, because I think that in general it has a lot to offer. And a lot for everyone to enjoy. Like no matter what your taste is, there's something for you to enjoy. That's all I got, dudes. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Please let me know what you're thinking. If you enjoyed it, didn't like it. If you like the CD, let me know, because that's something that I gotta look into. So as always, thanks for watching, dudes. What is up, dudes? It's Jeremy. Today I'm doing a